All right, so welcome to the Driven Dental Podcast. My name is Frankie, and we have here Matt Robinson.
Thank you. Changing it up today.
We're changing it up
I'm
today.
getting interviewed.
Matt's getting
So
interviewed. I'm hosting. I kind of might like this too much and keep doing it. We'll see.
let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, Matt. I'm gonna have start kind of honestly with you. Just before Operation Dental, who were you and what were you doing?
So I was born in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
I would say my life or career kind of had three different phases.
Okay.
I would say the first 25 years or so, I worked super hard, went to school, like did well in school,
Mm-hmm.
did everything right, prepared myself for be as successful as possible. And right about when I was 25, I guess the crash of 2008 happened.
Mm.
And the place I was working was no longer going to work out. And so I found a job with some business brokers
Okay.
that it ended up, it was just interesting because at that job, I actually met two people that we ended up working with at Operation Dental.
Nice.
But it was the start of, if the beginning like of my life was all uphill and good,
Yeah.
the next 7 years were really, really bad. This job, starting with the job, it was a high risk job. We were business brokers representing businesses for sale.
Mm.
And I worked there for a year on 100% commission, and none of them sold. And it was the worst time to do anything. Just
Yeah.
2008, 2009. So I ended up after that year going to work with somebody who was a personal friend of mine, who's the only person I know. Well, I was friends with his son. His dad owned the business, but
Okay.
I knew the family very well.
Mm-hmm.
He was the only person I knew that owned their own business. And I went from having, before the crash, I was doing decently well.
Okay.
And then at this job, it was a place I never wanted to work. I didn't want to be in. It was a distribution, like warehouse,
Got it.
right? So I was managing the warehouse, and I knew growing up I never wanted to work there, and I was working there for maybe a third of what I was making before all this, and it was something,
Yeah. For
but
sure.
it was really difficult, because it was just never the career path that I thought I would have.
Right.
So after, I don't know, it was just every day I was just kind of like, not depressed, but just,
It's like
I
a
felt,
mental game. Battle.
yeah, I felt like a failure. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
what am I doing? And I started working there and I always worked hard. So I started doing well and did well enough that actually leaving would have been, I would have to take another hit most likely to go somewhere else. So I just kind of got stuck in a cycle of going to work every day, not being happy, but not being unhappy enough to change anything.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 2 to 3 years into that, I met someone on my personal life that turned out it was just a terrible, toxic relationship that lasted maybe 3 years.
Wow.
And I had never had anything like this before. Like I had never, like, it was a whole new world.
So you were unhappy at work and then going through that.
Yes. It was just like no win for years. Just beat down. The only thing I had going for me really was just working out in the morning.
Yeah.
It was the only thing I kind of looked forward to.
Kept you sane.
Yeah, it kept me sane. So anyway, I went through that, just things that I never thought would ever happen, things that I never knew existed happened, just all kinds of toxic. Finally, after, I don't know, 7 or 8 breakups, it was final.
Yes.
So I got out of that, but still was at the job I didn't want to be at.
Yeah.
And I was there for maybe another 2 years.
Mm.
And I got the courage to say, I need to do something else, and I talked with the owner. I took 2 weeks off of school. 2 weeks off of work. And I researched online. I just wanted to be in an industry that was growing and doing something that the distribution, it was fine. It was a good business and everything, but you're buying things, you're shipping things, you're making not a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ship 1,000 things that get there, if you ship 999 things correctly, the one thing that doesn't get correctly is all you ever talk about. Like it just was,
Got it.
it just wasn't where I wanted to be. So I took 2 weeks off of work, just to research. And I found dental management, DSOs, dental marketing, all these dental groups that were some of the fastest growing groups in not only Florida, but America.
Okay.
And I met with one of the people that I met during the business broker days and talked to him about my idea for forming a DSO.
If you don't mind me asking, what had you say, okay, I want to do the DSO? Because you said you were researching, you went dental marketing, dental management. What made it definitive for DSO?
So it made perfect sense to me that dentists go to school to become dentists, not necessarily run a business. I had gotten my MBA. I had run small businesses since I graduated for about 10 years before dental.
Got it.
So I was like, it seemed perfect.
Right.
Like, small business is what I wanted to do. I enjoyed working with people one-on-one, but I knew nothing about dentistry. So I met with him and he's like, you need to partner with a dentist. So I was like, yes, of course, that makes so much sense. And I had never thought of it.
Yeah.
So I met with him, and then I met with one dentist that I knew growing up, but who wasn't interested in forming any sort of DSO.
Okay.
But he gave me a list of dentists that were in the Dental Society of Greater Orlando. It was like 500 dentists. So after work, this is all while I was still working, I created a website called operationdental.com and sent out a cold call email to those 500 dentists on that list, saying who I was an MBA, trying to start a company in dentistry. I need to partner with a dentist, and I'm looking for that partner. And I sent it out to every single one, like individually. So it didn't have 500 email addresses in the subject line. And
individual sent out
of the 500 for a website for an industry I knew absolutely nothing about. I just copied a bunch of DSO dental management.
Was the website like a landing page and that's it, or was it a pretty decent site?
No, it was a full site, I believe.
Nice. Okay.
From what I can remember, because I didn't really know what a DSO was or what the relationship was.
Right.
So I created like the marketing side of it. I just mimicked what like a consult really probably looked like a consulting website.
Got it.
With a little of everything. And then Dr. Kelly was one of the ones who responded. I remember his email. He just said, "Let's meet." And we had dinner at Chipotle that night. We talked for like 2 hours, and he said, I have a small office in Winter Park. Come sit up front and see if you like it. And so by that time, I had given notice at the job I was at. Okay. And I was just ready. So unpaid, just sitting up front, starting is how it started.
Unpaid.
Yeah.
Just sitting there. So first day, night before, were you thinking, what am I doing? What am I doing right now? Or no? No,
I've been very fortunate. So it's gotten me in trouble a couple times with businesses that didn't work out. But once I'm behind something, I don't think about it. I just go.
Got it.
So there was no hesitation at all. Good. It was more excitement.
So that's, I'm assuming that would be in essence the start of Operation Dental day one, your day one, or no?
Kind of. Okay. So his practice, he had bought it from a retiring dentist. Okay. And all of the employees, they were old enough to be our parents, our mothers, and they weren't hungry. They weren't looking to grow really. And so there was just a culture clash. And when I came in, everyone was super nervous. It was just weird. Like, got it. Who's this person just sitting up front, like trying to learn dentistry? Doesn't work here. No. Yeah. So it really wasn't the beginning of Operation Dental then. I think we needed to get his practice fixed before we could look at a second location. So that became kind of the mission.
Got it.
And eventually what we did was I just became the receptionist. was like, I need to just start working
and learn. And yeah.
and from the ground up. Like when I started, I had never heard of the Crown. I didn't know what it was. So he would sit with me, like we go over tooth numbers, treatment plans, what to say on the phone and all that. And it was me on the phones for probably 9 months.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Going in and being a receptionist, doing the front desk, I guess, duties.
Yep. So we would work on his practice. We'd close, I guess, at 4:30, 5, whenever we closed. Then we'd switch into operation dental mode. We were looking for other practices. We were talking to investors, looking at buildings, all that stuff. So it was the practice all day, then operation dental in the afternoon till night for no money. We literally had a conversation with each other of how little can we make and afford to move on.
Yeah. And do you think what made you feel like Dr. Kelly was the guy? Like I'm on board, he's on board, I feel it.
Well, besides being the only one who really responded to me,
you didn't have any options.
I had very few options. No, he and I just clicked from the very beginning. We've never had a true fight, and we've been working together now about 10 years.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, we've just been on the same page. We were there at the very beginning with each other. Mm-hmm. When you're having conversations about how little can you make and keep going with somebody, like a lot of things don't matter. Like you just whatever it takes.
For sure. You guys are both hungry.
Yeah, hungry, and he had his strengths and I had mine, and I think we stayed out of each other's lanes pretty well.
Okay.
And just had an understanding of if I was doing something that I wasn't comfortable with, I talked to him. He was the dentist. He had been working as a dentist for a while and had the industry knowledge.
Yeah.
And then I kind of gradually shifted more to the people side and the management of things, and that's where the operations of it came in.
So at a certain point, did you take over, I would say, like as his practice manager or running that portion of it? And how was that in having to have maybe certain conversations with staff that's older than you?
Yeah, I had a decent amount of like difficult conversations with people I had worked with in the past. I remember, this is a random story, but the very first person I was in charge of at my very first job when I was like 24, 25 years old was a guy who was at least 10 to 15 years older than me. And he was saying inappropriate things to one of our vendors. The very first thing, like day one, that I had to deal with him was a conversation about how to, not be disrespectful. So the trickiest part, I would say, talking to somebody in dental was because I didn't have the industry knowledge. A lot of the times I was maybe lost on I didn't know like specifics of why something was wrong. Maybe just because of I didn't know the process of dentistry and the flow of things, but attitude is attitude. And that's typically one of the main things. So, I just did the best I could and listened first, and then my judgment kept getting better with time. Mm-hmm. So at some point we were able to split, and that's when in the very beginning when it's two people, you're wearing all the hats. So the more that like one person kind of take over something, the better it is.
So so you guys got the practice, I guess like a well-oiled machine, and we're looking at now another practice. So what was that day one, and how did that start to you guys leading to purchasing that next practice?
So we had found an associate who was willing to work where the original practice was, so that Dr. Kelly could step away. And she had a 180-day notice that she had to give at her employer. Yeah, it was the worst contract I've ever seen. So we waited those 6 months.
Wow.
But while we were waiting, we bought the second practice. And that was a little bit wild because the second practice was owned by a dentist who didn't have her dental license but was practicing. And the other practice was owned by a guy who had a boating accident and he could no longer practice.
Oh man.
So it was timing of the essence, time is of the
Yeah, for
essence
sure.
type situation. But we bought the nicer practice with the nice building and merged the other practice into it
Okay.
before the other associate had started. So Dr. Kelly was still the dentist all day at the first practice, and I had stepped away then and was going back and forth between the two.
Mm-hmm.
I had maybe been working 6 months. I still was like brand new, managing both while this other one was two dysfunctional teams, offices coming together. And then the first associate we hired to actually work there was a nightmare. Like nightmare. At any time of the night, like he would call, text with some kind of crazy. He was just very volatile. Like you had no idea what you were going to get each day. He was a great producer, great talker. That's why we went with him. We didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But a management nightmare. So pretty much day one after that, the first associate started, because there was maybe a 3-month gap.
Yeah.
We had to let him go, and Dr. Kelly, instead of being able to step away, had to go be the dentist at that second practice.
With the dentist who, as you said, was volatile and stuff, who had to have that conversation with him?
It was both of us.
Both of us?
Yeah.
Was that your first dentist conversation, or
that was our first? Yes.
Yeah. How'd it go overall?
He was pretty volatile. He wasn't happy. Thankfully,
Yeah.
thankfully, we did not have a contract with him.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that was nice. We didn't have to deal with that, but it was what it was. But I was literally talking people from off the ledge of quitting every day.
So at this point, you were almost an expert at this.
Yes.
Yeah. So now you guys have at this point 2 practices.
Mm-hmm.
What at that point did you guys wait for the second practice to become also a well-oiled machine, or were you guys just kind of like, we need another one now?
Yeah, we never stopped looking, and that's kind of been a pattern
For you guys?
for the last 10 years. Yeah, because we just have always figured it out. Like maybe if we were a little smarter, we might be more intentional about it. But no, we kind of just go and figure a lot of things out as we go. So we never purposely said like, hey, we need to slow down.
Yeah.
But it just turned out to be maybe another 9 months before 2 more practices were available. Mm-hmm. And then we closed on those after maybe 3 months. So we closed on the second one, October of 17, and we closed on 2 more, October of 18.
Wow. It's about a year gap.
Yeah.
Literally. Okay. What was the biggest risk? Because this is still the beginning of Operation Dental, right? For you, what was that biggest risk or fear in this process, this journey of growing this DSO?
I didn't really think about it at the time because I just never thought about risk.
Mm-hmm.
It never occurred to me.
That's the part you said gets you in trouble sometimes.
Yeah, it could get you in trouble because if you're missing something, it can really, come back to haunt you. But no, I didn't think about it back then. I guess the biggest risk looking back would probably be because we were so new and just didn't know what we were doing. We had to get people to work with us who believed in us for some reason because we had no track record.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest risk is like just being able to hire people who would give us a chance.
Now for you, again, this is like more so of maybe looking back a little bit. What has in that process, if you're going, what has been your biggest leadership mistake, and what did you learn from that?
Oh boy, biggest leadership mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, bad hiring comes to mind.
Yeah.
Just maybe just being, I would probably say the biggest leadership mistake would be hiring somebody based on what they can do, not for the attitude that they have. So like the first dentist that we knew he would be a great producer, but we had no idea like how the patients and team would react to him until it was kind of too late. Yeah. So like looking for those signs early on was something that was completely not there.
And now you guys do differently now.
Exactly.
So when looking for, looking for a dentist now, you guys have a practice, you guys are in need of a dentist. What is Matt's requirement that you look, for a dentist?
Avatar dentist? Yeah. Attitude. cu- and culture is the biggest thing for us, and that's where on the DSO side we'll get involved
Yeah.
quicker, or just get involved in general with the practice when there is something with the culture or the attitude. We're
Yeah.
pretty hands off, for the most part,
Yeah.
especially clinically. But yeah, if there's that, we have to figure
Step
it
in
out.
some sort of way. Growth wise, what was a turning point for Operation Dental?
When we got our first bank that
Mm,
believed in us, that was big, because
yeah.
the first few deals we had to do were seller financing, which means the dentist actually gives us the loan to buy their practice, and we pay interest on that loan.
Mm,
So it's more difficult to do that, obviously, because a lot of people want cash if
for
they're
sure.
selling. So we had to do that in the beginning, and then w- I don't even know how, but somehow believed in us in 2018,
Hmm.
and they gave us the loan to buy these other two practices,
Mm,
and that's really when we became a DSO.
unofficial.
Is when we had a DSO bank, we had a DSO accountant, a DSO specific attorney. Like,
Mm,
we were doing all the things right to
yeah.
become a DSO.
So that was like
Right around that was a turning point, and just having a few years under our belts for like
Yeah.
just industry experience.
Yeah.
And another part too is I think when we started the billing side of things and having a remote separate billing team.
Yeah. Dedicated to just that.
Yes, because a lot of the smaller DSOs we had seen, there were just problems with embezzlement, and just like production was there, collections weren't, and just
Yeah.
problems with the numbers. And
Yeah.
our billing team is always just, the number side is like the last thing I worry about now,
Mhm.
which is
Good.
great.
And I'm assuming it helps, obviously, the entire practice itself to focus on other things.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um, where do you see, because now we're looking ahead. We look back a little bit. Now we're looking ahead. 3 to 5 years. What are you seeing for Operation Dental?
So 2024, we took a step back, and
Why?
because I think we had grown too quickly, and the marketplace was just kind of volatile with dentistry. There were a lot of dental groups that were not, that they were defaulting on their bank loan, and their bank
Oh.
was calling the loan.
Mm.
Which, that's probably the scariest thing that's ever happened to us, is when our bank told us that they're getting out of dentistry and you've got to find a new bank. The problem with that was we had grown so fast that our numbers didn't really reflect
Mm.
what we had. And the profit wasn't there for,
Right.
if you're a bank analyst looking at numbers, the profit wasn't there to have a bunch of banks knocking on our door.
Right.
So that was scary. We stumbled across a bank that had a new rep, and he hadn't closed a deal yet with that
Mm.
bank, and he's been unbelievable, and we worked with him and got the deal done at the end of 2024.
Okay.
I think maybe it was beginning of 25. I can't remember.
Wow.
But anyway, we started over with that new bank, and our 2025 numbers have been great. Like, we fixed the company in 24. Now we made it look attractive to any investor. Right. And now we're looking to grow again. So we have multiple startups that we're working on, and then multiple acquisitions now too. So
that's the goal for you in a few years, is just more growth.
Keep growing.
Growing.
But with our systems more dialed in, so it doesn't stress the team out too much. And right. Obviously retaining the culture we've built has been super important. I'm curious. Let me ask you one thing, because you've been with us how long now?
5 years, almost over 5.
Okay.
No, October is 5 years.
5 years. Okay. What have you seen as far as the growth from your perspective working in a practice? Like, what have you seen us progress? Have you seen us mature?
Like the company?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure. So I from when I started to now, you said systems. I feel like, it's one of those things where, as you guys grew, I felt like you guys saw the need for certain systems in place because it was happening either far too often, or I think you have a phenomenal operations teams like the regionals that saw like this happen once. I never want to be able to be in a spot where that happens, and I had to figure it out. So I feel like over time there's now systems in place where there's almost always, practice level wise, an answer to a problem. It's very rare that a new problem arises now
Mhm.
that an OM or anyone from the staff is kind of like unsure. So I think over time, yeah, you've seen the growth. I think for me, in my perspective, like you've seen the growth in the systems at a practice level humongously compared. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it is nice to see like the company mature. I guess the
Mhm.
word. You get to see that growth. And it's nice because again, back, when I first started, maybe some fires I would bring up, and either for me there was no systems, I didn't know what to do, and either regionally my regional had it, or she was like, "Let me get back to you."
Yeah.
Whereas over time, it's kind of like it shifted to I had fires, she had immediate solutions, to then shifting to I had fires, I had my solutions, and to now there's fires where I don't even have to solve it, they solve it. So
Yeah.
like it was systems that were trained down to everyone else. So it wasn't just like we have to call a regional this time. It's we called her, we learned. Now you call the OM, he learned. Here's this, and like now everyone
Right.
knows how to solve it. So
Yeah.
it's huge.
Yeah. We're trying to get the practices on autopilot as much as possible
Yeah,
and create the platform that we can continue to grow,
for sure.
and have team members grow with us,
Yeah,
along the way, and dentists become partners with us.
yeah. I think it's very like the doctor I work with, Tarver. He's I think that the DSO we are at Operation Dental is such an attractive DSO for, to a dentist. In my perspective, it's really built where he just gets to dentist. Like he goes
Yeah.
in, does teeth, he will sit down, and do whatever he wants in the meantime because everything else is running, and there's no involvement as far as him having to sit down and review the treatment plans and check. He's just being the dentist, and I
Hmm.
think that is for sure in his brain one of the prettiest things it is. Go to
Yeah.
work, take teeth,
Yep.
put teeth, and then leave.
Yep. And he's part of the practice. And
He's a
we're looking at another one for him.
yeah, he's growing up.
Yeah.
um, are there things you want to change as now a standing company? 10 years?
Yep. So this will be our 10th year.
10
Yeah.
years. You
This
guys
October.
are a mature standing company. What are things you want to change in the industry as a whole?
I would love to. It's all about the people, obviously. So figuring out how to attract and recruit the best people,
Hmm.
and reward them for their hard work, I think is the win-win
Yeah,
that everyone's looking for.
yeah.
So it's still hard to hire people. It's
Ha-
shifting. So a few years ago, it was maybe the most difficult to hire a hygienist,
yes,
followed by maybe dentist, then front desk assistant. Right now, as of 2026, it seems assistants
very tough.
are very difficult to find, followed by front desk,
Hmm.
followed by dentist, followed by hygienist might actually be the easiest.
I agree. Yeah. How do you, as Operation Dental, how do you stand out compared to? Because I'm assuming, let's say you go to a school of hygiene or school for DAs, and
Yeah.
there's other DSOs presenting. How do you stand out to them compared
Yeah.
to these other larger
I think the
DSOs?
first thing that stands out to them from what I hear is we're just way less formal.
Mm,
Like if we're going and talking to a group of 30 hygienists that are graduating, we're not showing a PowerPoint. They're not getting some beautiful brochure. We're having a real conversation, just question and answer, telling them about us and just answering their questions. So it's less formal. It's
more organic almost.
yeah, and more about just the people themselves and just finding some place where they're happy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think again, you guys are now, Operation Dental is considered a mid-sized DSO, or
Smaller still, like maybe getting mid. I don't know. I'd have to. Mid is probably actually close to like 40 to 50 locations.
okay,
Like we're still decently small.
is that the goal long term?
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So being again, you're 10 years small on our way to mid.
Yeah.
Um, you said you want to change. One of the things you want to change is the way the hiring goes.
Yeah.
Right now, what are you doing for, DAs, front desks to change that height? Like when you hire, what do you provide that it's different compared to other
Right.
DSOs?
Well, we're looking at the pay, obviously,
Hmm.
and making sure that it's really well, like as good as anybody else with a bonus system on top of it that makes it better.
A true bonus system.
Yeah, a true bonus system and really good working environment.
Yeah.
Obviously, room for growth as we grow is an attractive thing.
For sure. I think definitely one of the things from, working with, staff now for what, 5 years, I hear a lot is at larger the DSOs that they were at before that are typically larger DSOs, they would, same thing, hire them with, pay, and there is a bonus structure.
Yeah.
It's not really gone over too much, but you do bonus, and the bonus was like, you'll get $20 this check, congratulations. Right. And I think for someone who's busting their butt every day, going and converting and doing this to receive what, $25 is kind of a little bit, almost like a slap in the face. So
Yeah.
I think what sets us apart is that too, like there is something you have in place that you work hard, you see the fruits of
Right.
it, like actually see it.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody knows this actually, or how many people know this, but in 2025, we actually paid out over $1 million in bonuses.
No way.
Yeah. Like company wide.
Have you done research to see, is that like a
record?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know.
Huge. The other, like you're investing though in your staff in some sort.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's definitely a profit share.
Yeah.
It's how we view it.
Yeah.
And the other thing we're doing differently now is I'm really going to focus more on onboarding.
Okay.
I think a lot of times, like, people get hired because someone's left and we're shorthanded, and you've got to have somebody who can work as fast as possible. Mm-hmm. So you just throw them into the fire day one.
Yeah.
And I'm really trying to not do that.
Yeah.
And have our teams be in a spot where we don't have to do that, where there's, even if it's a week or two of just observing and, taking, just onboarding slower and like double checking with them more often. Cause it's really hard to keep up with 90-day reviews with everybody, but trying to be more intentional about some sort of guaranteed review
for sure,
so we can keep learning.
And then it's a way, I think, obviously for you to know where they're standing at, as well. Like, when you're meeting up with them.
Yep.
I have like a rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So you got to be quick with it.
All right.
What's one habit that's helped you succeed?
Show up every day.
What's a piece of advice that you'd give someone wanting to grow in this industry?
Focus on the people.
Biggest lesson you've learned as a COO?
Do whatever it takes.
If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
I have no idea. That's why I'm not leaving.
Have you ever sat back and thought, like, where would I have been? Yeah.
No, it'd be scary.
It's too scary to think of that.
Yeah. No, I don't really think about it.
Yeah.
I just thank goodness I found this, because again, going back, I thought I was on the right direction for a long time, like, into my mid 20s, and then I got derailed till my like early to mid 30s.
Yeah.
It was a long time. So I'm a super late bloomer. Like, I don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
At all.
With that, do you ever like look back and, not look back, look ahead and, get like a bird's eye view of what was created, obviously with the help of everyone with you, but what you created? Like, do you ever just look back and say like, man, we did that?
I'm terrible at that.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't think about the past too much, and I don't think too far into the future.
Yeah.
Maybe I should more.
Yeah.
No, I really, it's just, I don't know if it's my personality, but I'm maybe one day ahead.
Yeah.
But most of it is that day. Like, what do I have to do today? And I just don't worry too much about stuff out of your control. There's something to be said about, let's say, 5 or 10 years down the road, you want to be at a very specific spot, and that mission or goal can impact what you do in a day. Because if you need to let's say you need to get somewhere where you're not, and you're presented with something that won't take you there, because of that thing in the future, you might adjust how you live
Right.
or act today.
Right.
So I think it's probably worthwhile to do that. I just don't do it very often.
Yeah.
It's more just more showing up every day. But I very rarely think back and like am proud of whatever, because
Yeah.
I just
Fun.
keep going.
Yeah.
And once, if you've had like a long period of your life where things were not good,
Yeah.
and you have been so low that you just, I don't know, you don't want to go back. Like,
Yeah.
just keep going forward.
I hear you. I have an odd question. So you are, I think, one of maybe the most humble leaders I've ever met, right?
Mhm.
So within that humbleness, you're not a big fan of someone really calling you like boss.
No, I hate it. There's one person who calls me Hefe, and it's fine because she was like the third employee we ever worked with. Yeah.
What about that is just kind of like it off-putting for you? Like, what don't you like about it? I always put it towards he's just a humble guy, doesn't like to be called boss. So what is it?
I don't know. When I hear that, it actually gives me like a physical, like, maybe because they like, in your own mind, everything that's horrible about yourself. So, you know the struggles you go through every day and how you're just no better than anybody else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's another thing that I probably just don't even think about. But I don't like, I don't like recognition.
A you thing, like
Probably.
personally.
Yeah, probably.
Because I was like,
I don't love
do a pretty
attention.
good job of.
Yeah.
You guys do a pretty solid job of giving recognition, I think, as a company.
Yeah, I could
That's
do
what I'm
better on that, since I've heard that from some people that
Yeah.
since I give myself no recognition, that I have to like maybe remember that other
Give
people care about it.
Yeah.
So,
So if someone is hearing about Operation Dental for the first time today,
mhm.
what do you want them to remember?
I guess the big thing would be like, they might have a better option they don't know about, because we're still a very small company. Our biggest problem is that nobody knows about us, and when people find out about us and talk to us, like our conversion rate is very, very high.
Hmm.
So just, if someone's not happy wherever they are, or didn't know that something better might exist, we're I think a pretty good option for that.
Yeah.
When we make decisions, we always try to err on the side of the team and the
Right.
dentist. So, and
Not-
we live by it.
And not even dentistry, just if you're just unhappy, period, right?
Yeah, you don't have to have experience in
Yeah.
dental. That's another thing we're really focusing on, is
Training.
training people who have no experience in dental.
Yeah. I mean, I came from real estate.
Yeah.
Had not an idea of what a crown was either. I felt like a crown was like what went on your head,
Right.
and it was changed my life. So yeah,
Yeah. If people are willing to work hard and, have a good attitude and treat others well, then that's a great thing that I think we provide.
I have one final question for you,
Yes.
Matt. And this is more so not really about you, but more me.
Okay.
How was it? What made you finally decide to allow him to be Maribel's boss?
We had to pick somebody, obviously. There's just so much improvement that's needed there. Like, you have to have dedicated oversight,
Right, for sure.
and yeah, we just thought you were perfect for it, because
Beautiful.
you're not going to take
No,
anything we shouldn't tolerate.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's great, Matt. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.